Uno de los postulados del libro de Elizabeth Anderson es la igualdad democrática y la necesidad, ¿cierto?, de que las personas puedan ejercer su ciudadanía en el espacio público. O sea, uno de los postulados es que las personas puedan ejercer esta ciudadanía en un espacio público en igualdad de condiciones. Y para ello, es muy importante que en ese espacio público se puedan legitimar nuevos interlocutores que han sido excluidos, como por ejemplo las mujeres o los pueblos originarios, por poner algunos ejemplos. Pero lo que está ocurriendo hoy día es que ese espacio público está cambiando sustancialmente por el fenómeno de las redes sociales. A mí me gustaría saber cuál es cómo ve Elizabeth el impacto que está teniendo la democracia y en el postulado de la igualdad democrática el fenómeno de las redes sociales hoy día en el mundo.
So I actually have a lot of problems with the way social media is organized right now. And a big problem has to do with the way algorithms are determining what information we are exposed to. So a combination of both algorithms and paid micro-targeted ads and news and so forth. What we found is that social media is very easily hacked by bad anti-democratic actors, propagandists of various sorts. Sometimes they're not actively trying to undermine democracy, even though they're doing that. Maybe they're just out for a buck. And they found certain formulas for drawing people's attention to outrages, false made-up stories, conspiracy theories that sow distrust and division and make democratic politics less possible, because without some foundation of social trust among the different social groups that constitute the polity, if everyone just thinks that whatever is coming out of another person's mouth has to be fake news or a lie, no real democratic discussion can take place among citizens. And so we have seen that social media can be hacked, and also that the algorithms tend to promote outrage, division. They're grossly amplifying the voices of propaganda, dissension, and division. And so these kinds of voices are very hostile to the democratic project. But why amplify those voices? That's a choice that the social media CEOs are making. They do not have to rig their algorithms in such a way to make these kinds of voices of propaganda and division explode and be the most popular dominant things. We've actually seen that true news travels less far than fake news on social media. Less far and less rapidly than fake news. Okay, I think it's, I really think we shouldn't even be on social media. I think it's a toxic environment. We also see that marginalized voices are often further marginalized by campaigns of harassment, doxing, and threats, and so forth. I really think it's high time, and here I'm saying this is kind of weird because we're speaking over technology, but there's really a lot to be said for face-to-face conversation. People can hear your tone of voice. You can get real. It's very difficult to do that just with the written word. People want to know, well, are you sincere? Is this meaningful? Is this coming from the heart? It's not that people can't be deceived, but I think there's a lot less misunderstanding of the tone of voice and the emotional register. And this gets back, actually, Cristobal, to a question that you had pointed out about the role of emotions. And liberal discourse wants to wall that off and only talk about reason and so forth. I just think politics always involves the emotions. And indeed, a huge amount of political wisdom involves understanding the emotions that are driving people's political positions, especially when they're driven in authoritarian directions. Almost invariably, the emotions that drive authoritarianism are deeply connected to fear. And indeed, one of my teachers, Martha Nussbaum, wrote a wonderful book recently about this called The Monarchy of Fear. I think it's psychologically very, very insightful. I wouldn't be quite as reductive as she has. It's not all fear. I do think resentment is significantly different from fear, and that also powers a lot of authoritarian politics. But fear is a big one, and a lot of what we have to do in talking to our fellow citizens is communicating in such a way that we are not activating fear, but actually helping people see democratic politics as a path forward to peace. I think that is one of the greatest challenges of our current moment. And unfortunately, social media is pushing us in the other direction.